Okay, hey, welcome to another episode of On the Wrist from Off the Cuff. Today we have a really cool strap showcase from you from Strap Mill Canada, or sMc. They're of course based out of Canada. They were established back in 2017, and they're really just wanted to start making the type of straps their founders couldn't find for themselves. And I think that's a pretty common motivation when it comes to striking off on your own, creating your own brand. It's really to create your dream product. So we as the consumers are very fortunate because then we kind of get the ultimate versions of people's dreams and our fellow enthusiasts. So it is nice to see that. Now, in terms of the product highlights in general, this is actually their most high-end strap offering yet, and still somehow does feel like a bit of a bargain. This horse rump leather does not crease, but instead ripples as it ages through regular wear, giving each strap its own unique character. The vintage shell Cordovan leather goes actually for $144.97 Canadian dollars, which at the time of this filming is roughly about 108 US dollars. For those of you who know about shell Cordovan, you know that that is actually a pretty screaming deal. And with the exchange rate, it could get a little bit lower. Who knows? And then, of course, some of you only clicked on this because of the watch that you see there in the middle. Yes, that is the brand new for 2022 Hamilton Khaki Field Murph 38, and it's a strap monster. And we're going to see that here with these really cool Japanese shell Cordovan leather straps. So with that said, let's go ahead, zoom the camera out, get these pieces in hand, and take a closer look. All right, guys, so currently there are these three options. The black is what's already mounted on the Murph. This watch actually came originally on a more film accurate kind of croco print calf leather strap. Here you're going to actually see this Japanese shell Cordovan and then an Italian calf leather lining on the inside. So very smooth with a nice sheen, kind of a gloss to it, as you can see. And what they mean by the fact that it won't, it won't crease is that you can see here where I've actually worn it, there's just minor kind of micro lines, and that color is still completely saturated, which is not always the case for leathers. Like a lot of times when they will patina over time, they'll kind of lighten up in certain spots, darken up in certain spots. But one thing that's very interesting about these, this particular horse leather, is that it's always going to keep that color very, very true and very, very deep. So let's start by just looking at these ones here. This is the lighter colorway and the nice brown. It's a really great color, very versatile. Has maybe just a touch of a red hue to it, definitely not an ox blood or anything like that, but it is a nice versatile brown color, and you can see it plays really well. You're getting everything signed at 20 millimeters. You're getting this nice ivory stitch here, as well as quick release spring bars. So very, very cool. And then in terms of the thickness, they should be about, I believe, 3 millimeters thick, and then kind of taper down to about 2 millimeters down as you go away from the lug. So it'll be a slightly thinner on the tail end versus on the end where the lug is located. So really, really beautiful. And actually, if we were to put this here, you could see that this actually would look quite at home on the brown, especially with this ivory stitch, which does tie in to that old radium superluminova that's there. And you can also notice that the superluminova on here is more of an ivory and less of an orange. So I think they really got the tone very, very nice on here. It doesn't look overly kind of that faux Tina look where it can look just a little bit too warm and rich and creamy. Here it definitely has a more pale tone, which I think looks more natural. Of course it has lower contrast, but it just doesn't hit you over the head, which I really, really like. And of course, definitely stay tuned for the full review. Really, today we're here to focus on these outstanding straps. Check that out. with the blue, how would that look? The crazy thing is these all have quick release straps, so I'll actually swap them on at some point in the review, but I did want to just kind of show you guys how this actually works. I broke this one in a bit. Essentially, you're just gonna, this is what I'll do to pretty much any leather strap. I'll just take it and I'll twist it. I'll give it a couple little bends here so that it will kind of warm up and start taking that more round shape, because when it's on your wrist, of course, it's going to be a little bit more round. Now, we can also see that the keepers are really beautifully finished. The edge work, everything is just beautifully done. And then let me just give this buckle a quick wipe because it has been worn. You can see very nice hardware, all polished, nicely signed, no really big billboarding on there. It's just a very clean sMc for Strap Mill Canada. So very, very nice. You're also getting the double stitch here on that static keeper, while the sliding keeper is completely available. So with that said, let's actually just get this on wrist. I'm going to demo that, because, this is a strap review, not a watch review. So it just goes on very nice. I have about a 7.5 inch wrist. Let me just kind of scooch these off over here until they need to come into frame, but check that out. That is outstanding. Such an upgrade. We'll go ahead and tighten the frame up here just so we can avoid lens distortion from me bringing my wrist too close to the camera. Here you can see it definitely wears like a 38 should, very nicely centered on the wrist. Those slightly shorter lugs at about 44.4 millimeters is definitely shorter than your standard khaki field auto 38. And you can see, of course, this beautiful strap. Look at the sheen on that. It's just so high end. I know some of you are like, this thing costs $100. It should look nice. Believe me, there are $100 straps that do not look this good, that are not constructed out of, shell Cordovan leather. So this is really quite outstanding. And it has a very mild taper, about 2 millimeters. So from 20 millimeters here at the lug, it'll just be down to 18 millimeters towards the buckle there. So very gradual. So you're still going to be getting, of course, that vintage aesthetic, but not overly period, central in terms of if it was to have a deeper, steeper taper. That could be something that they offer later on, but I think this really just is very, very balanced, and I like the way it looks. So I just wanted to share this with you guys. Also, of course, it's kind of a dual because I'm highlighting the watch before the full review. I did do a live unboxing. Check that out. Also on my Instagram, did a quick little reel of this one, and I'm sure I'll get some kind of EDC pocket dump type of shots with this, wallet, knife, and all that jazz. So really, really gorgeous, guys. Of course, if I get my wrist too close to the camera, you're going to see a lot of lens distortion. It's going to appear much larger. But if you look at it, it just wears like an absolute dream, just like you would expect, because we all love the field, the khaki field automatic line, especially in the 38. You're going to get them, with a mechanical, just hand wound, or an automatic. The automatic would be a bit of a closer comparable, but it is a different case that is new with these shortened lugs. So I really dig this one, and I have to say it wears really well on wrist, and you guys can see that deep luster that's there, and it's just fantastic. I like that they used the right kind of tone on here. It's kind of like the patina. It's not overly done. It's just a nice little off-white ivory color. So because we do have quick release spring bars, now what I'm able to do is pop this off. Super easy, barely an inconvenience. Go ahead and comment below if you caught that reference. And then, let's go ahead and now make this a lot more friendly to those earth tones. Make it a bit more versatile. for those of you that want to, wear this with, out in the fall and have a little bit of kind of those autumn colorways with your wardrobe, whether it be matching it to a nice leather jacket, or maybe even a waxed canvas jacket, something like that. Even I'd say this will contrast fantastic off of a denim jacket. So really, really gorgeous. Check that out. I really like that because you're seeing it right now with the brown, it somehow makes that black dial really stand out. Although it does look nice with a black on black, this actually finds a way to make it pop. It's weird. So the strap is kind of popping, but at the same time, the dial has a little bit of flair to it, a little bit of pop, which I like. So this is a nice kind of middle ground. And of course, very versatile. If you have some nice boots or just dark leather sneakers, this will just go really, really well. And of course, it doesn't have to be a perfect match, because it's not like, your watch strap is going to be laying across your boot anytime soon. So don't worry too much about getting that exact match. But this will definitely add just a nice bit of life to this watch. Again, it just gives it a little bit of a different personality. And it does tie in to the existing, kind of vintage-esque look, because you get that, of course, nice vintage top stitch there. So very, very nice, man. That's handsome. I'm almost hesitant to take it off, but I do also want to make sure that I'm able to show you guys how this looks with the blue. Yes, and I know that's not something that I would probably normally do. I think pairing blue with a white or a silver dial looks really good, even without any blue accents. But I will say that there is something about pairing this Murph 38 with the blue strap that I really, really enjoy. Check that out, guys. That looks good, man. There's something about that. And, it's funny because the patina, let me give you another quick wipe on this. It's just such a nice looking watch. I want to make sure that you're not distracted by any random little pieces of dust on there. So something about that loom that's on there, and that print color, it just really makes it more versatile. I was worried it'd be the other way around. I felt like, okay, maybe the Fotina kind of tone would be a bit of a turnoff and make it less versatile and make it be more specific, perfect match I was looking for. But because it's more of an ivory, it actually goes really well and flows really well. I almost question if they were to make this truly white, radiant and bright print and loom, if it would even look better. I think it just looks fantastic. You know what I'd really like? I don't know if they would ever do this for this model, but this would look really cool in a white dial variant. I think that would be awesome. White dial, maybe do blued hands. That could be really, really killer. And then you could still do kind of this light hint of cream in terms of the loom, so that it would still be very legible and still be loomed. Or you could just do black, of course, and it would be very, very legible. And then you just kind of have to choose wisely where you would apply, a couple of loom plops maybe all the way around. But this thing is such a looker. I was really surprised that it looks so good on the blue. It's very, very versatile. So yeah, again, now if you have that kind of blue shirt, and then you also notice that as this reflects off light in different ways, it is black, right? But at the same time, it just flows well with that blue, and a lot of it has to do, again, with that beautiful ivory stitch and then the ivory text on the dial, as well as, of course, the loom. So actually, speaking of loom, this isn't the full review, so I'm not going to do my typical low light transition loom, but we can do the blackout. So you saw, guys, I didn't even charge this thing up, and it's loomed pretty well. Look at that. That's just from being under the studio lights, being, this far away from it. So I didn't charge that up or anything. I guess I could try to charge it up, but hey, let's save that for the full review. But yeah, I did want to share this one with you guys. What do you think? These straps are fantastic. Hopefully I covered everything you guys were interested in terms of those dimensions. Closing thoughts, guys. These are almost surprisingly high quality. Again, I expect good things from Strap Mill Canada just because they've done so many nice straps. And, you know, even within, I don't believe it was a shell Cordovan. I think they might have done I guess cromsicle. I forget the other kind of cut, but it's also a very premium cut. And I've seen those in the past and experienced those. They're very, very nice. But something about this one, it's just put together really beautifully. And this blue really snuck up on me in terms of, wow, I really like the way that looks. And it's very casual like this with some blue jeans, white t-shirt, black t-shirt, doesn't matter. Like this would easily, again, be very versatile as well. So that was surprising because I was thinking, oh, I need to pair this with a watch with, you know, blue seconds hand or something. So, of course, this with a white dial and some blue accents would be killer. But I dig this, so let me go ahead and actually get it back on at the main strap here that I already have kind of broken in and that I'll be using and that I'll be featuring this in for the full review, just because you know, it's got the little break-in sweep on there. It has a little bit of stress from it actually being worn, and being a little bit worn in, and you can see it still looks very, very handsome, very, very clean. Give it a quick wipe here. So guys, closing thoughts again. Yeah, they just turned everything up on these straps. Like these are just, they are absolutely right. These are the most high-end straps that they've ever offered. And then, you know, if you are, let's say, in the US, you can get a nice little exchange rate conversion and save a little bit of money. So, you know, this being closer to 145 versus about 110, that's pretty good. And then, yeah, these are premium quality products, which without the expected premium markup. Again, I've seen you know, kind of inferior materials used in terms of cheaper leathers on straps that costed, you know, equal to or a lot more than this. And I just love this look. I think it's fantastic. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you like the video, please do hit like. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe for more content just like this. And a big shout out to Strap Mill Canada for just continuing to step their game up and put out really awesome and affordable, attainable options for the enthusiast, because it is absolutely appreciated. All right, thanks guys.